Hi, my name is Scott Mineta, and I'm here today to tell you my story. What I've experienced in the past few years has completely changed my life and has opened up my eyes to something I would have never imagined would have happened to me. A broken system that stripped me of my relationship with my son Jake and has left me fighting for justice. If something like this can happen to me, to a person like me, it can happen to anyone, and that's a problem. A lot of you know I come from a family of public servants. My father, my brother, both served as police officers, and I too spent many years in law enforcement in New York. When Jake was born, relatively soon after that, I was able to retire, and I devoted my life to being the best father I could be. I've always been a proud dad. I've coached soccer. I organized neighborhood games. I took all the kids out for ice cream and treats with my children. We had parties, we had barbecues. I made sure my children had the best childhood possible. The family has always been everything to me, just like the way I was brought up. Every ounce of that, all of it, immediately changed the day I entered into the family court system. It all stopped. I was no longer the father that I was for 20 plus years. I was somebody that I didn't know, apparently I was. What started as a family court case quickly turned into something far worse. Overnight, you go from being a dedicated, loving father to being treated like an outsider in my own child's life. Despite no history of violence, no arrests, no history of drugs or alcohol. Those of you who know me, and nothing to suggest I was unfit. The system began to tear apart my relationship with Jake. All those years that I built an amazing relationship with my son Jake, overnight, gone. Suddenly every effort I made to be in Jake's life was met with resistance. It didn't matter that I spent years being there for him. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter that Jake and I had the closest of bonds that a father and son could have. I was being shut out, completely shut out by a biased system. One that treated me as though my role as a father didn't matter. And I know there's a lot of fathers out there that know this. That's why I'm telling this story. I know I'm not alone. Across the country, there's fathers facing the same uphill battle. Struggling against a system that too often favors one parent over the other, leaving the children like Jake without the support and love that they deserve from both parents. It's devastating. It's absolutely devastating. I can't even begin to explain the emotions. This is why I'm putting this out to fathers, parents, advocates, grandparents, supporters of all kind. If this could happen to me, someone with no history of wrongdoing, someone who has literally dedicated his entire life, their entire life, to being a good father. And it could happen to anyone. The system's broken. It's completely broken. Parental alienation is real. Fathers are being pushed out of their children's lives every single day. The emotional toll that it takes on the parents, on the children, it's It's immense. It's absolutely immense. I'm not here just to share my story. I'm here to fight for change. Not just for me, but for every father out there who's been alienated from their children. For every kid who deserves both of the parents in their lives. I want to expose the bias, the corruption in this failed system. I'm fighting for accountability. I'm fighting for fathers' rights. I can't be any more clear. I want to make this exceptionally clear. This isn't about me seeking revenge. I'm not trying to win a personal battle. This isn't about justice. This is about making sure that no father has to go through what I've gone through. And no child ever has to go through or be alienated from a loving parent like Jake has. My story is just one example of a much bigger problem that needs to be addressed. It's a huge problem. Basically, today I'm just asking for your help. If you know somebody similar to me, if you're a father, if you're a mother, a child, grandparent, who has been affected by parental alienation, or the broken family court system and the probate court system, please share your story. Let's come together. Let's raise awareness and push for reform. It's time for change. It's time for us to make sure that no parent and no child ever has to suffer like this again. Thanks for listening. If you have any stories about Jake and I, if you've ran into us somewhere on the soccer fields, on the pickleball courts, in the gymnasiums, in the playgrounds, on the golf courses, in the swimming pools, wherever, drop a note.